to that hotel and go live inside that lobby. Go live in that lobby. You can't because you've been trespassed. Go back there. If everything you want people to believe you, go back to that hotel you was at where you got trespassed, where the BET Awards was there, and go live. I will give you 10,000 and I will ban my own page. Go back and do that for us. Go back and go live since you got so much money, and I will give you a check for 10,000 or a cashier's check, however you want it. I will issue you a $10,000 check.
And I will throw in an extra $500 if you cook a meal without bell peppers and onions.
Okay, Big Joe? Okay? So that's the tea. You keep
Yep.
on talking about all this other ruckus. You can shut Hillary Sanchez up by going back down to LA. It shouldn't be nothing for you. Get one of them other buddy passes that you get. Get a buddy pass or standby and just go in there and go live. For 1 minute, just go live inside that lobby.
No, Hillary. Let's do it this way. Let's make it easier. How many people are in this live right now? I tell you what, Joe. You and Charles come up in the box, and we will pin your Cash App, and everybody in here send your hungry behinds $1 just for you to come forward and open your mouth and truly defend what everybody is saying. Everybody in here send you $1, and you'll get your money expeditiously. Come to the box. That's all you got to do.
And it's funny that he got his supporters activated because some of them in here, 500 of his supporters are in here now. Don't be under any illusion. Trying to throw shade at me for telling the truth.
I'm not sending anything.
Trying to throw shade at me for telling the truth that their icon is doing. Okay? But let me ask you guys a question. Where is Charles? I'm in this box. I'm looking at this box and I see everybody in here but Charles. I have asked that these people not request so that I could see Charles himself. But they I don't know if they heard me or not. But for some reason, they're not listening.
Gabe, you still on? Gabe, you still on?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, you have so many counts of terroristic threats, especially when he brought your did he say somebody knows where your mom stays at or something like that?
I think he's on mute.
My bad. I'm so sorry. No, that was not. He did not state that he knew where my mom stays. He said that about Trail. He stated that he knew where Trail mom stays, and made things bad remarks about Trail's mom. But he did make threatening remarks to me, and I want to clear this up while we got people on here. I never went to the police to file a police report on Joe Netta Robinson because if I did, he would already be in jail. I went to the police to protect myself. I made a trolling video acting like I pressed charges. But if anybody knows or anybody who follows me or watches me knows that I just came home. So for me to see this big man and we have any kind of run-in with each other and I had to defend myself, then it would be already documented that, okay, he stated that these two had issues and this, that, and the third, because I even challenged him to do a celebrity boxing match.
You're doing the right thing. You paper trail.
Right. So if I do run into him, in which I feel like we will, and I defend myself and do what I need to do because I'm not going to back down and I'm not scared of that motherfucker.
No.
Then I would have the paper trail. So I did what I did to protect myself.
Absolutely.
And it was funny, and I felt like it was, if you see that video, it's over 3 million views. I just thought it was funny.
You guys need to tap the screen. They're reporting the live. Tap the screen, throw some penny gifts, and once we get to 240,000 taps, I'll turn the comments back on. But tap the screen. Go ahead, guys.
Yeah, so that's why I did that. I'm not scared of that man or nothing like that. So when he really thinks, you know, he has lashed out at me and said he's gonna do all this stuff to me that he does. I mean, there's so many people like Miss Hillary who really goes far, you know, farther than me, and it's never been, oh, I'm gonna do this on site to Miss Hillary. Where's this energy towards Miss Hillary? Miss Hillary's the one calling you out right here, right now. And I'm not obsessed. I don't talk about that man every day. If you go through my page, I say something, but he says stuff about me. So it's back and forth. It never did give obsessed. So y'all be so crazy to me when y'all say stuff like that.
Let me say something. Thank you, Gabe. I appreciate you. Let me make this real clear so it's on here and y'all can screen record this. Hillary Sanchez will be traveling down that neck of the woods. I'm going to be going to visit Gabe. I will divert my flight if he want to have that same energy that he had for Gabe and LaQuanda Badass. You couldn't pay him to say that to me. You couldn't pay that man to give me that same invitation that he gave to you, Gabe.
Queen, let's buy our flight together, girl. Let's go down there with her.
Man, I will go. See, that's the
I'm telling
thing.
you.
That's the thing. I'm not. It's the sad part about it is, in all actuality, when they first started out, I genuinely did not have a problem with them. It was when Joe started bashing black women and single mothers that I said, no, this is what we not finna do. Joe brought all of this on himself. He could have continued to be a content creator, continue to rise in the ranks. Nobody really cares. But when you start making it seem like you're above everybody, like he really did get above his station. And it's not about, you should think highly of yourself, absolutely, but at what cost? Bashing other people, belittling other people, but when you come back at them, then it's a problem. That's what I don't understand. But you will talk, just like soon as you got them daggone chiclets in your mouth, now all of a sudden you want to tell people y'all need to go brush your teeth and wash your face. What are you saying? Like, it's the delusions for me. Why are you acting like this? You started all of this. It could have all been avoided. He could have just sat down and did what he was doing. People actually were buying and rooting for them. People were rooting for them. What they don't have enough common sense to see is that most people root for the underdog anyway. And let's be real, they are a underdog looking couple.
You better say that.
So because people like a good story, because people like to see people that are genuinely rising from one section of life to another, when it in all theory, they're not very aesthetically pleasing. So most people are going to say, wow, I really like to see their come up. I like to see their glow up. But that's not what happened. What you did was you just went rogue and started acting a fool. And that's why people are coming at your mitt. Nobody cares if you make Charles lunch. You can own all the bell peppers and you can have stock in the croissant company. Nobody cares. But it's what you're doing.
But this is a person who called me ugly face and brushed my teeth. Will you look at what I'm looking at?
That's what I'm saying. Why would you even make a statement like that? Like, you don't go at night when you go home. Yo, you have to take all that makeup off your face. Better yet, you look at yourself every day. You got mirrors in your house. You look at yourself every day. What in your world, in your mind, makes you fix your lip to call anybody anything? When you was talking to that lady on Charles's live, why did you call her out her name? There was no reason for it.
Queen, he doesn't even brush the veneers he got in his mouth.
Like, I mean, you walking here, you're calling people broke, you're doing all of this, and then all along, Charles is on food stamps. You don't have the money, you said, and I Googled their net worth. First of all, they both collectively have a net worth of $47,000. That's what they earn collectively together with their benefits. So you don't have any money. You're coming at people that really work every day. They own businesses. They got high caliber jobs and everything. And you sitting in a trailer down talking people who actually got you where you are. Who are you to get above your station when it was a bunch of black women that was rooting for you? When everybody else was coming against you, it was black women that you were standing on their shoulders. They let you put your big body on their shoulders, and now you want to be above yourself? It don't work that way.
Where were
Hillary, did
these?
you
I want to
Hillary,
ask you guys this question. Where was Netta and Charles at the BET Awards on the blue carpet? I want to know, where were they?
That carpet I saw was tan.
I would say this. I have I definitely have a reliable source who has confirmed to me that Netta and Charles was at the BET Awards on the blue carpet in spirit. Their spirit was there. Their bodies wasn't there.
in
But
spirit
they
and
did
in
make
truth?
it there in spirit. Their spirit was there. So I will give them credit. They made it in spirit, y'all. They made it. Now, their flesh wasn't there,
Don't
but their
stuff.
spirit was. Flesh wasn't there, but spirit was.
Come
So
on
we
now.
will give them credit for that.
Mm.
There go your icon. Do y'all know that's Big Joe right there?
That's Big Joe. Oh my God. I wouldn't dare thought that was Big Joe. I thought that was Jeep Creeper.
Ain't got look like ain't got a lick of teeth in his mouth. That ain't nothing but the devil.
Every time you say that, I'm gonna throw my phone in the trash.
Ain't
Don't
nothing but
say
the
it's nothing
devil.
but the
And
devil
she
again.
still got that. He still got that chain on his neck
Everywhere.
everywhere.
But this is now. Wouldn't you, if you carrying some for your wife? Why ain't radio pushing that big suitcase from his husband for his husband? Why is Big Joe? I'll tell you why. Because he's taller than most men. Will never date a woman taller than them. But why is radio dating a man taller than him?
Poor thing. And they don't even know how to handle situations properly. Like when they were saying if somebody was at the bar actually buying them drinks out of charity. If that were the case, if someone bought me drinks, you do have the right to spin and control your own narrative. You could have
Absolutely.
said, okay, somebody bought us drinks. We're icons. Why wouldn't they want to buy us drinks? But no, we was paying with Google Pay. Like,
Where was
you doing way too much.
but Queen, where was their security? Where they went? They go everywhere. They don't travel nowhere without their security guard. Where was that security guard
Where was
at?
the security guard? And then why did you go out of your way to say they called you and told you they were going to send a Bentley to pick you up? Would it even matter what they picked you up in? It would have beat being on the bus. Like it's those type of little nuances that let me know you're lying. That's why it's always falling apart like a paper
Definitely
plane
lying.
in a rainstorm. You
Did
just
you see
added extra
Queen?
stuff.
Did y'all see where the person pulled up beside them and she rolled the window? He rolled the window down real slow, even though he got enemies, and that's not a Bentley he was in. Hillary,
See?
did you see that video? He barely rolled the window down, and I guess he saw there was fans,
Honey,
and he rolled
no,
up.
no. That was all a setup.
Shut up. Shut up, Hillary.
Listen, are you talking about when they were in that Uber car and somebody pulled up beside them screaming out the car?
Exactly.
That was all set up. That was a setup. That was all a skit. That was all skitted. That was all a skit.
But you told people you was in a Bentley. You know what?
Like, why do you make up these things?
Let me just say this about
Mental illness is real, and that's the true definition.
yes. I do want to say this about Shrek and Fiona. I meant Charles and Netta. I want to just tell them this. Please, for the love of God, please, I am begging at this point. Please leave some bell peppers, onions in the damn grocery store so that I can cook today.
On
I'm
top of
trying.
that,
I need some
Gabe,
bell
on top
peppers,
of
onions.
that,
Stop taking them all and cooking them all. Damn.
on top of that, Gabe, leave Hillary and Gabe alone. Those you don't mess with those two.
Okay, hold on, guys. Let me see what Miss Bree want. Go ahead, sweetie. What's up?
Okay, hey, first off, hey, how you guys are doing today?
We're good. How are you?
Okay, so okay, some platforms, like when you disagree, do you guys drop if I disagree with something? I just want to have a conversation.
You want to have a conversation about disagreeing?
No, it's I just feel like this what's going on. You guys are hating on Miss Netta. I feel like
Okay.
y'all want to be her.
Okay.
Want
Thank
to
you.
beat her? Get her off the page.
And then guess what? You know what? You should have left her up here, but it's okay.
I mean,
Drop her.
I wouldn't have dropped her. I was open to answer her
Why would I
question.
want to be? What? For real?
Listen,
Come on.
listen,
We want to
listen.
be them.
Are no. I just want y'all to answer this question. Are you looking at the same picture that I'm looking at that I want to be like?
It's not even about even that. It comes down to the fact that why in the world would that be your first go-to when everybody has said emphatically that the only problem they had with them is when they started bashing women? Why is that? And that was a whole woman that just got in the box and said that. And it's like people just don't have comprehension. They just don't.
Will you look at Charles with his woman, how she leaning on him and how happy he is?
Wow.
Look at how Charles' demeanor is with his woman,
Mm-hmm.
how he was with his woman.
That woman kind of looked like me a little bit. Wait a minute.
Okay, just let me show you something. When have you ever seen Charles radio look like this when Big Joe is that close to him? When have you ever seen Charles do that?
He don't.
Look at how he cheesing.
And I get it. Times is hard. So if he doing what he got to do to make money or to get over, then I get it. But at the cost of bashing black women, it's not going to happen on my watch. I'm just not going for it. I don't care what they do. At that point, I don't care. But when you start really coming against single mothers, talking about them getting food stamps, living in Section 8, so what if they do? If they're doing what they got to do to make it for their kids at the end of the day, that's wonderful. To make it seem like it's just the worst thing in the world, to make it seem like they're so lowly, it's unacceptable because both of them
Charles,
are black.
Charles, your bumps are ready. They only flake for you. Charles, these bumps are ready. I got the dessert too. This is for my haters that's coming for me. Back off, Miss Netta. You don't want this disease. I'm
Mm.
tired of these haters picking on me. Charles, these bumps are ready. And they are not volcano free. Volcano free. They pumping out. What he ought to be doing instead of worrying about me is stop mixing that poly grip with Charles's semen and gluing them dentures in his mouth.
Wow.
That's what he should worry about. Go on, y'all.
I mean,
Can I,
it's just,
can I
it's
sing a song to
sad.
Charles right quick?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
A is apple. Apple.
Wow.
B is
I'm not.
ball. Ball.
Gabe.
Tap the screen, you guys. They report and tap the screen. Throw some penny gifts. Y'all mute. I'm gonna cut the comments off. Tap the screen. Throw some penny gifts.
It's really sad. This is just really, really sad because again, and then the people that say, I'm trying to understand what the jealousy is of. Because in all actuality, if you wanted to buy tickets to the BET Awards, you could have. Anybody can go to the BET Awards. It's not like you can't attend.
Well.
So jealous
Let's
of
just
what?
Queen. But let's. I know you be on it, but let's stick to the facts of what it is. Did you hear Big Joe say all he wanted to do was be seen on the carpet?
And
That's
that's the sad part
that's
because you weren't.
he didn't go for the show for what the BET has put together for. All
Mm-hmm.
he wanted to be seen was on that carpet. He said that. I'm not making it up. Did
Yeah,
you not hear
I
it?
heard it. Mhm.
Did y'all hear that?
I heard it when he said it. And that's the thing. For what? Why you gotta do all of that? You got people on this app that are probably millionaires and you would never know it. They just live their life, they mind their business, and do what they do.
Big Joe, his own husband told him that he looked like that dude off of Friday, that movie Friday,
Pinky.
Big Pinky off of Friday. His own husband said on his live that he looked like Pinky. But this is somebody that we jealous of.
That's what I'm saying. There's nothing to be jealous of. And at the end of the day, we are all fighting the same fight. We are all running the same race. Why can't it just be what's
Holiday
for
heart.
you is for you, and what's for me is for me?
No.
Why do you automatically think somebody got to be jealous of your life? I know when I was little, my mom, there was a story that they told at church, and there was this man that lived next door to another man. And every day he would get up and go to work, and he used to hate the man because the man next door was laying by his pool and he never went to work. And he started to resent the man. When he went over the man's house one day because he had one of his children threw something over the fence, the maid let him in. He instantly got mad because the maid was there. He was like, why do I have to work every day? This man just lay around his pool and he has a maid. But when he went in the backyard, the man was laying around his pool well and good, but the man also had no legs. He had lost his legs to an accident, and that's where all the money came from. So with that being said, what's for you is for you. What's for me is for me. It shouldn't have to be anybody's jealous. They do things to try to put people down and try to make people feel less than about their situation. What about the women on this app that genuinely are on Section 8 and genuinely are having hard times and struggles and things like that? And then you want to sit up there, although they're watching you, they're sending gifts, they're liking your videos, they're even defending you, and you have the audacity to say that they are beneath you. That's not cool. And I don't care who got a problem with what I'm saying. That's a hill I'm willing to die on. There are many women on this app that's just trying to make it that they cry by themselves at night. They try to cry and make sure that their children don't see them crying. They try to go to bed hungry because they want to make sure at least their kids had a meal. For you to come at single black mothers like that, that's outrageous. And I don't care who's mad about what I'm saying. It matters to me not.
So can you recap some of the things without using the cuss words? What Big Joe was saying about African American women.
Oh, I'm going to teach y'all H's and B's, how to keep a man. Half of y'all don't know how to cook for your man. Y'all don't do this. Y'all don't do that. That's what's wrong with you. This, that, another. Y'all sitting around on welfare. Y'all sitting around on food stamps. You want to sell your food stamps? I buy your food stamps. Why are you saying this stuff? Why would you do it? What about the ones that ain't never said nothing to you, but yet that's the type of stuff that they live on? Do you not realize that you are sending a target on everybody? You're generalizing. You're not even saying just the ones that said something to me. No, you said all you black women, you black bees, you black hoes, all of this, y'all on welfare, y'all pH balance is off. What was the reason? If you hate yourself, then just say that. If you are mad because you were not born in a female body, just say that. If you've never liked yourself, if you've never loved yourself, just say that. That's what therapy is for. But to try to talk down on other people because you do not feel good about your station in life is outrageous. That's crazy.
And let me say this before I talk to my next guest here in the box. If you guys, we be saying Charles is slow. Let me tell you something. The information that I have obtained, Charles isn't slow as y'all think he is. Charles got mind control over Debo. Go ahead, Mecca. What would you like to bring to the talk?
I want to come from, first of all, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you guys are at, and happy 4th of July. After I got off the live with you the other night, I did some digging, but I'm going to come with a different perspective. So I went onto the BET website, and one person that stood out was a content creator, DeAndre Brown. DeAndre Brown was invited to that space. Not only was he invited, he did a video in his outfit by the designer that created it. Usually that's what you see. So if you go to the BET's website, this year they had what's called the Culture Awards. And those awards went to 10 different people in categories of being content creators, poetry, music, arts, whatever. It was only 10 people. Those people we know who are not part of the upper echelon elite, they were invited because they were relevant to BET. So if someone claims to be iconic, but you weren't relevant as part of the culture that BET recognized, then there's a discrepancy there.
And hold on one second. Don't lose your train of thought. Now let me be clear. Saucy Satana was there.
Yes.
Keith Lee was there. That Kimmy lady who cook on TikTok, that Kimmy Kitchen lady, and other creators were invited, and they got gift bags from the BET Awards. They all got the A-list celebrity treatment at the BET Awards because they recognized them and they received personal invites. These were party crashers. These were two people that said, in their own minds, in their own delusional world, we are icons. And if you don't think I'm telling the truth, look at the video where Big Joe said the only reason that the BET Music Awards were so high was because all the anticipation of him and Charles going there.
That was all cap. That was all cap. Now I'm getting ready to take y'all back into time. Right now I just put into the chat the website of the Culture Awards, the BET Cultures Awards and who it went to. But I'm getting ready to travel y'all back into time. Let's go back to Antoine Dotson, the first one who went viral off of social media, who got invited to the BET Awards. So, and actually performed the song Hide Your Kids, Hide Your Wife. Not only that, he got invited to the BET Awards. He's had several opportunities. He didn't have to get on social media and scream and beg for promos. He's been in a movie. He's been interviewed on CNN. He's been interviewed by Vlad TV. He's been interviewed by several.
Let me say this to you, ma'am. Do you? And I know exactly where you're going. We're there. We know that they're in a completely different league. Okay, but what people aren't seeing is Joe Cosby, Big Joe, was humbled right before our very eyes. And he was humbled because he thought that those numbers and Facebook and all that stuff that he don't care about TikTok. So what's real funny, he don't care about TikTok, but he's always on TikTok. And the very women who he was bashing and talking bad about, that I came on here to deal with him about, is the ones who elevated him to where he is in his mind. This man's delusion, I want this type of delusion in my bank account. I want this type of delusion in everything that I do. The type of delusion that Big Joe got, everybody should desire to have if you want to be that delusional. Go on.
Delusion alone, we can actually diagnose him. We don't need a DSM-5.
Let me tell you something, Kay, real fast, respectfully. Don't you come in my live telling me to wrap anything up. What you need to do is get on this first bus ticket and have a great 4th of July. Bless you, sweetie, my queen. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say we don't need a DSM-5 to diagnose Joe and Miss Netta, even though it seems like they're the same person.
They're not.
When I look at Joe, I look at that's the promoter. They don't even need a promoter or a manager, because even if that whoever Carlos is, the fact that Miss Netta is so hungry for the numbers and the attention, he's actually jumping ahead of anything that a manager or a promoter would even do. And that's where the humbling is coming in. Because you so busy trying to put a TikTok out to get ahead of stuff. Yeah, we going to the BET Awards, yeah. But you failed to talk about how you was going on your anniversary to the DR. You never talked about that. There were certain things that when I'm listening to these TikToks, for someone who's a content creator and can't wait to post, and you're always telling Charles was the best time to to post, and well, you didn't post today, well, you need to get on and post, and yeah, this is a good time, and yeah, we need attention. Like there are certain things that in that after once he responded, which he would never responded to this day.
Well,
so we know
Carlos. Everybody's asking, who is Carlos? This man in this picture right here is Joe's manager, Carlos. This is the person who was at the BET Awards begging and pleading every PR person that he could see to try to get tickets for his client. This is who they relied on to get them into the BET Awards. This is Carlos, their manager. The blind leading the blind. I said it and I ain't changing it. The blind was leading the blind. Go ahead.
And Mecca, you know what's so crazy? I can take you back a little further. The entire cast of the New Edition story came off of the Vine. The entire cast. When Joe sits up there and say the ratings on the BET Awards were that high, he is failing to remember that when they had the anniversary of the BET Awards, they had the entire cast, children and adults, as well as actual legends and icons, New Edition themselves, all on the same stage, something that had never been pulled off or seen ever before in the history of BET.
But we know
So they
all
could
this,
have been
you guys.
so much better. All you got to do is stay in your lane and play your angles. You can rise. You don't have to do what you do.
But Queen, this is not even about that, because we're not dealing with people in their right mind. So let me lead this conversation this way for a minute. This manager never had contact with BET. This was all orchestrated, trying to be sneaky and manipulative. Okay? They couldn't even afford a ticket to get into the place. This isn't about wait your turn, wait this, what that. This Big Joe is unhinged. He is unhinged, doing whatever he want to do, putting sugar on fried pork chops, sugar on fried chicken, Velveeta cheese on any and everything he want to put his hands on. You can't tell this icon nothing. You can't speak reason into him. You can't be saying, come and have accountability and admit, okay, yeah, we put our foot in our mouth and we ask for forgiveness. No, this is not what this live is, and this is not what we can do. All we can do is raise people's awareness to this behavior and the trend. What has he been doing on this app the last 8 months? Which is lie after lie after lie after lie, exaggeration after exaggeration after exaggeration. Now, why didn't this icon, because Santana was photo op with him. But better yet, where were all those true celebrities from Love and Hip Hop? Why didn't he get in with them? Why didn't they let him go in there with them? If he was such friends with them and so tight with them, like he wanted us to believe with that fake skit reception. See, it's all a illusion. It's all delusion and illusion, and they're playing in our faces. Them people from Love and Hip Hop are not friends with them. Those people were booked to show up there. They were paid to be there, and what you seen them doing at that reception is what they were paid to be there. Sit there and be videoed and act like this and act like that. It was nothing more and nothing less. And that's the bottom line. Now, the most important thing of the whole situation is that Joe Netta needs to be humble and was humble. We know that Joe Netta was humble. And this is how I'm going to break it down, how you know he was humble. Because he started a whole new page to attack me. He couldn't come up with anything current in the last 10 years. He had to go back 10, 15, 20 years, 15, 20 years ago and have these older pictures of me. That's what he could do. Nothing current. But when we go back to what's going on in 2024 in Big Joe's situation and what he looking like, this is what we have to weigh up against. Look at me, Big Joe, since you keep saying I'm jealous of you and where I am today and where you are today. You couldn't hold a candle to me. You couldn't hold a candle to me on your best day of the week. And I want to be very, very, very clear to you that you cannot. And I don't care about my old wigs I wore a year ago. What am I wearing today? Prop up your lies with pictures of me today, not older, unpleasant pictures. I will be the first to admit I wore some jacked up wigs back then, but it's called growth. It's called accountability, something that you don't know about. You don't know about growth and accountability because you had an opportunity to come clean, to progress, and you failed the test. You came up with somebody's name out of your head talking about y'all was relying on somebody to send y'all tickets, a man that don't even exist. That don't even exist. If nobody can see through your lies, because if you were truly invited and your name was on something, you could have got in there with your ID, even if you didn't bring your ticket or your invite, because you're in their system. They have very sophisticated security cameras and things like that in those places. And let's not be delusional. You weren't invited. You didn't have no money. You were balling on a budget. And let me be clear. You were balling on a budget and your first stop was McDonald's and you ordered off of the dollar menu. That was your first stop, was McDonald's. Out of all the nice 4-star and 5-star restaurants that you could have eaten at like a true icon, you two clowns went to McDonald's. You flew all the way from Alabama to go eat at McDonald's as your first meal.
But that's the point I'm making.
We already know how you were going down at that courtesy complimentary breakfast that Charles had. If you eat that way in public, and you didn't have no manners and you sitting there cutting a pancake, Charles, with a spoon, You are cutting a pancake with a spoon and picking it up with your hand and putting it in your mouth in public like you are a kid. And then when Big Joe tells you to use a fork like he's your daddy, you take the fork and then you start cutting and you cut the egg fall on the table, you pick the egg up, put it in your mouth, you went to bobbing your head, then you slurp that coffee like a dog would do in his dog bowl. Absolutely nothing elegant, nothing no decorum, no anything about public at all. And you sit there and you think that that's okay. But where else do you go after your continental breakfast? Let me back up. Where you checked in at? You checked in at one of them hotels, the kind of hotels that those working girls go to, and you can rent the hotel by the hour. See, what you finna do, you finna unleash a bunch of receipt things that you really don't want out here on social media. But like I said, you were in a hotel that you pay by the hour. So that, I don't have to say any more about that. But the McDonald's trip, and then you pop on that little boat, that little old yellow tour bus, running around going live like you bragging and telling that tour guide that you gonna buy everybody a Louis, that you going to buy everybody, let us off right here and I'll go buy everybody a Louis. Man, you couldn't even buy a number 1 from McDonald's, a number 2, a number 3, a number 4 through 10. You had to order from the dollar menu. And then you went to Pinky's and found a homeless man and y'all offered him a hot dog to rehearse and act like he recognized you. And then you went to brag, and soon as he said, I know you from Facebook, your gig is up. We know everything. I know almost everything you was doing at that in Los Angeles. And you have been talking and you have been bragging and boasting about everything except for the BET Awards. Where were you, Joe? That's the $1 million question of the day. Go on.
But that's the point I'm making. At the end of the day, all of the things that they did while they were there, first and foremost, they wouldn't have had to worry about whether they had tickets or not if they were likable to work with. Over the past 4 or 5 months that they've been bragging about going to the BET Awards, they have created enemies across the board, even up until now, by you making the statement that the ratings were up, not because of Usher's speech. You personally called out a celebrity that's already made their bones to say something like that. You had opportunity after opportunity after opportunity to put a footprint somewhere. You want to, we got to eat McDonald's. When have we ever eaten McDonald's? Okay, Travis Scott had a burger. Cardi B has a meal at McDonald's. Like, you really are not seizing opportunities because you keep getting ahead of your station. I promise you, somebody with common sense would be able to manage their career and they probably would get somewhere. They're too busy worrying about bragging and boasting instead of doing you had multiple opportunities during that trip. Maybe you didn't get into the BET Awards. When you were on that tour bus, instead of trying to boast and say you could buy everybody a bag, why couldn't you make your live about, come travel with me and Charles and see what we doing on the tour? Let's look at we've been about to pass Lucille Ball's house. Whatever you're doing, you could have capitalized off of that opportunity. If your only goal is to be seen, you're going to continue to stay at the same station you've always been in life. The reason why those other influencers were invited is because they did make their bones. They are still making their bones. If they called out Keith Lee for his issue with Taraji, what makes Joe and Netta any better? And that's what is baffling to me. People are not seeing that what they're doing is outright just, it's the wrong path altogether. Nobody has to be jealous to have common sense. If you really want to paint a narrative, paint the narrative where it works for you. All good, bad, or anything, publicity is publicity. You're not even working mid-angle like you could right now. They're never going to get anywhere. because they don't want to listen to what anybody has to say.
Tap
If
the
Joe,
screen, guys. Tap
if
the
Joe wanted
screen,
to
tap the
dispel the
screen.
rumors that he disliked
Hold
black
on,
women,
Queen. Hold on, Queen. Tap the screen, throw some roses. They're reporting the live. Tap the screen, throw some roses. The comments are off. Tap the screen, throw some roses so that we can deflect what they're doing. Thank you. Tap the screen and throw some penny roses. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Go on, Queen.
I mean, if Joe wanted to dispel the rumors that he doesn't have a problem with black women, instead of saying you don't have a problem with black women, literally put your money where your mouth is. Literally put your money where your mouth is. Instead of going on live and saying, I'm going to give away $100 if you follow me over to Facebook or this, that, and the other. Why don't you do things behind the scene? I'm not trying to be funny or anything, but you do. I cannot count how many people that I've just sent an Instacart of groceries for on this app. I cannot count the amount of people that I have sent a phone to simply because they didn't have a phone. I cannot count the amount of people who I've assisted with paying their rent. I don't need all of that accolade. I do it out of the kindness of my heart. If you are in a position to better your community and you are not worth me thinking anything other than what I think of you. And at the end of the day, Pride Month, you had the opportunity to actually make it about Pride Month, but you would go and say you don't even identify with the community. Like, when are people going to wake up? Y'all are following behind somebody that does not offer the same support to you that you're offering to them. It doesn't have nothing to do with jealousy. If it's about building your community, you look at it just for that. You have done absolutely nothing to further the people in Pride Month. You've done absolutely nothing to dispel the rumors that you black women. You've done nothing but project your insecurities on everybody else, yet we are jealous. Make it make sense. All insults and jokes aside, let's come from a real common sense perspective here. You're not, the reason why you are where you are is because you don't want to make your bones like everybody else. That's point blank period. Nobody
But you know, when you
hospital and become chief of staff. Nobody becomes a top surgeon by not making their bones. At the end of the day, make your bones. That's all you got to do.
but we talking to a wall when it come to him. His eyes is cocked like a pistol, and I said it several times already. My grandmama told me, never trust a cockeyed man because they can never look you straight in the face. Never trust a cockeyed man. And see, if you look at Big Joe's videos that he put up the other day, what he did is he went to stuttering. When this man goes to lying, he goes to stuttering. He starts to be all like a robot, animated. He starts spitting lies left and right, and that's a fact. And go back and look at the excuse video with him sitting in his car. See, he was sitting in that car because he had guests in that trailer, and whoever was there in that live with him, they were text messaging him messages telling him what to say. He didn't even know what time it was to be on the BET carpet. He didn't even know that. He says 3 different times in that video, and then somebody text message him and he reads the text message. Then he corrects himself, and then he says, oh, and he loses his train of thought, the lies, because he read what they were saying, and then he tried to get back on track, and he kept on talking. See, show everything that this man has done. Where are all of this stuff that you said that you had coming out? Nobody's picking on you. Nobody's bullying you. I simply called you out because you were attacking women.
That's it.
This is not anything about clout. This is about holding a silverback Netta Cosby accountable for his actions. You are not untouchable, Big Joe. You are not protected in the ways that you think that you can harm people verbally and bash women and talk about them. And if you guys think I'm joking, listen to all the videos on the internet. Look at my timeline. He's cursing women out, calling them B's, HOEs. All you doing is sitting around waiting on your check to hit, and you wait, and y'all selling me all y'all food stamps, and I'm buying them. Did he not say that, Queen?
That's absolutely what he said. And at that point, you're confessing to a felony. And I don't even understand why you would have said that. Once again, you really don't know you don't have the etiquette for what you're trying to do. At this point, he's sitting on the live saying, my publisher, first of all, a publisher, you're not writing a book, so your publicist. And you don't have a very good publicist at all. Because right now, Joe needs to take a back seat and literally spend some true money and let someone recreate your image. You really need to you need to start all over, redo it, because right now you are heading for disaster, and it's all at your own ruin for your own self. Nobody did this to you.
Well, he has absolutely no media training. We know he doesn't have no media training, and I've already told you the blind leading the blind.
Absolutely.
Did you see the picture of his manager?
Yes.
The blind is leading the blind, and this is what you get. Please tap the screen, guys. You're reporting the live. Throw some penny gifts. Throw some gifts, y'all. I gotta cut the comments off. Throw some gifts.
I mean, even someone that could just
hold on, Queen. Hold on. When they do, I'll explain to you why when they do what they do, why we gotta hold on. Tap the screen, guys. Tap the screen, throw some gifts. Tap the screen, throw some gifts, guys. Let's get the comments up. Let's get the likes up. Thank you. Thank you, sweetie. Let's get the count up to 450, and we can start back at 450. Tap the screen. Tap, tap, tap. They're doing their big one. They're trying to get us down, but that's not going to help. Tap the screen and throw some gifts. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Go ahead, Queen. Go ahead, Queen.
I was saying, even if you had someone that literally taught you speech etiquette, how to speak in public, even nobody, this is how you can tell people really don't bang with you the way they bang with you. When Joe had on that black jumper, you stood there making a whole speech talking to people about how you were going up. We're going up. We're going to get hit. It's this, that, and the other, only to be completely untucked and exposed. And everybody saw that. Where was your manager when they could have pulled you to the side and been like, let's come in the bathroom and get that straightened out. Let's take care of that. That was unacceptable on every level. But yet here we are. Nobody, because you don't listen to nobody. Nobody can tell you nothing, Joe. No one can tell you anything. You just doing any and everything. Think about it. He ain't the first one. He's not the first one. Janet Jackson had a nip slip at the Super Bowl. It happens. But come on now. Where is your damage control? Where is your PR team since you're such an icon? These are things you need to invest in when you start saying, I'm going to jump out here like that. If not, you're going to crash and burn every time. It doesn't matter. So the fact that he wants to get on live and yell and curse and do all of that, like I said, yeah, I joke with you. I'm going to laugh at you. I may make a little slur. I may do it. I'm not going to hold you. My mouth can get reckless sometimes. But when I really sit down and let's talk common sense to common sense, what Joe is doing is ruining himself. And the people that are jumping behind him and making it, oh, y'all just upset. Y'all just jealous. You're fueling the fire. If you really love him, if you really care about your precious Joe, your precious Mrs. Netta, if you really care, then the ones that are true followers would hold him accountable. Point blank, period. They would say, you know what, I'm with you when you right, but this time you not. But they're not doing that. They would rather attack the people that's calling it out, which makes no sense to me either, because the people that's calling it out are saying the same thing. We're actually supporting you. We're saying we don't like the way you're being treated. We don't like the fact that this is somebody you follow. This is somebody that you send gifts and cash apps to, and this is how he's choosing to treat you. We don't like that you're being disrespected. See, I don't feel disrespected by Joe, because what's not directed is never respected. Joe doesn't like me and I don't like him. And that's cool. We can agree to disagree. But there are people that actually do like him. And you're still disrespectful to them. Make it make sense. That's all I'm saying. So when people get jealous, you obsessed. No. Because if we don't say anything and we just let it slide, then what? You don't stand for something, you won't fall for anything. So I'm rejecting all accusations of being jealous, bitter, or wanting to be them. I reject all of them accusations. Because if that was the case, I wouldn't even be sitting here trying to explain and break it down how you could better yourself, Joseph. I wouldn't even be saying that. I could just look at you and call out the myriad of your flaws and have a field day with that. I'm not here for comic relief. I'm here to say that you did the black women is wrong. I'm standing on it. And anytime you want to have a conversation with me, we can have that conversation. I'm not going to back down.
So
Point blank.
let me say this now, y'all. I don't want y'all coming in here painting this narrative about this. And let me tell you what I'm talking about in the comments. Big Joe, in order for Big Joe to be, and y'all hear me, my true supporters in here supporting Hillary, hear me. If Big Joe, in order to be disinvited by the BET Awards, you had to be invited. So the bashing that he did for the women towards women didn't get him disinvited. He was never invited. Quit being delusional. Big Joe doesn't have the smoke to even make a phone call to BET and ask them to allow them. His manager couldn't even get in the building, couldn't even do it in 3 months. They couldn't pull off in 3 months to get Big Joe in the BET Awards.
Well, Hillary, their criminal history wouldn't even allow them to get in there. They have to go through a criminal background. They evaluate everybody, run everybody who's trying to come into somewhere where Ursha, they wouldn't have passed. That's why they had to get the.
And we know Big Joe wouldn't have. I mean, we know for a fact them two wouldn't have passed. But here's the gag. Let me tell Big Joe how many people actually showed up. It was Big Joe was there. His sidekick Radio was there. That manager Carlos was there. They brought a cousin and somebody else. It was 5 people who was originally there. Okay? Now, if you heard the hairstylist on her Twitter or whatever, she said, I actually had tickets to go to the BET Awards. Okay? So these people couldn't have passed that. And we know that because Charles is on the FBI watch list and Big Joe is on active probation. I'm going to find out, did Big Joe get a trip permit from his probation officer to travel out of state over this last weekend?
I had questioned myself because anytime you're on probation or parole, you sign a contract with that state on the guidelines that they set out for you. And it is possible to travel.
Hold on, man. Hold on. Tap the screen, guys. Tap the screen. Throw some penny gifts. It protects the live. Tap the screen and throw some penny gifts across Hillary supporters. Throw some across so we can start back to talking. Hold on a second. Tap the screen, guys. Thank you. Tap the screen, throw some gifts. About one more minute. Just hold on, and I'll let you finish your thought, ma'am. But I gotta do this way. I'll explain to you two later in the DMs why this has to happen this way. Okay, go ahead, ma'am.
Oh, like I was saying, a probation or parole officer would have to approve that. And one thing that you would have to prove for that approval is prove where you were at and why. You can't just leave. Even rappers, 21 Savage, some of these rappers and stars that have been on parole and probation have to get approval from their probation or parole officer. And
And honey,
sometimes that's not always approved.
they also have to have an ankle monitor on just in case they try to flee.
Indeed. So another thing that I was thinking, that when you sign a contract, you also are telling them that you're going to stay away from drugs and alcohol. And I don't see where the alcohol is being prohibited on their end. So it's kind of like they're not using logical sense. They're not using informed decisions on how they move. They just moving. Because Miss Netta, Joe did a TikTok that said that they got the email in May. If you got an email in May and you knew that you were going to the BET Awards because you got invited, so you say or claim, then they would have sent you information and recruiting information that led up to that time of when you're going to get there, your contact person, how your tickets are going to be paid. A lot of these, I'm going to go back to what I was talking about on the live the other night. Your credentials, what they're doing now is putting your credentials or your passes. You have a QR code. And on your QR code, it's going to tell you where you need to go, where you need to check in at to pick up your credentials. It's going to even tell you, because these convention centers and these hotels that are attached to these convention centers or event centers, they're so large, you're walking for miles till you get to your destination, that there's literally an inside map that's attached to these QR codes. Now I'm gonna go back to the ticket that you showed earlier. When you have these events, they have tier levels. And because I talked about my expertise in being a security guard, when we do these events, all those tier levels passes are color coded, so we know what level or what space you're supposed to be in. Not everybody's supposed to be in a certain space, because anybody can go to the BET Awards. I think the highest ticket was almost $7,500. I don't think that Netta and them had that kind of money. I'm also gonna go back to see those tickets. Now, sometimes the ticket will actually have your name on it, so when you pick up your credentials, it would match what they have on file, what they have on the credential, and your ID.
Well, let me say
Go
this
ahead.
so that we can keep things in perspective. I want y'all to go do your homework, okay? I want you to go look at the footage of what's that black Usher. I want you to look at the footage of Usher coming on the blue carpet, because the carpet wasn't even red. So please stop saying red carpet. It was blue carpet. I want you to look at what was wrapped around all them security and all them people's necks. You see this color, what I'm showing you, this yellow badge? Go look and see, do you see a yellow badge on them people's necks in that area? Go ahead.
I just want to also bring up that floored me the other day when I was doing a lot of research. Joe told us on a TikTok that they were so iconic as a couple that they were worldwide. They were the #1 worldwide couple. And that floored me. And he said, do your research. So I did. So I put up 10 top iconic couples in the US. Miss Netta and Charles ain't on that list. Nowhere. I also did further research on their net worth. You can't Google their net worth. You can Wikipedia their net worth. Now this is where wordplay, where people, when you do your research, you got to stick to the facts of what it is. It says that it has an anticipated net worth of $3 million. Now, a person who didn't know better or know English and grammar, you'd be like, oh, Miss Netta's worth $3 million. No, it says anticipated worth. But in actuality, it's showing that they only make $47,000 a year, which is above almost an average, the average as far as the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So you're just a black man that's right there at the threshold. You're just average, but you're saying you're iconic. That's the part that you can call yourself whatever you want to call yourself, but you also have to stick in reality. This person says that they are manifesting their reality. No, people are using y'all as a gimmick because you went viral so fast that they're using you just as much as you're using them, that y'all faking it till y'all make it. That's it, which is putting them in a dangerous situation as they start getting into these spaces, because you don't know who's getting ready to use them. You don't know who's going to come as a PR person or a manager and be like, hey, let me revamp your career here. Let me take over. Let me do this. Because rappers get used all the time. We've been talking about that for the last 35, 40 years.
And let me point something out to these people. So do y'all see behind Big Joe? They're just over in one little area. The actual line, if you look behind Big Joe's shoulder, you see them ladies that's got them things, those passes strapped to their necks and they dangling off that woman's beautiful gold gown. Do you see that, Mecca?
I see it. I don't see neither one of them having anything on.
But do you see where that woman got that tag around her neck?
Yep, she's in the gold dress. I see it.
Okay? Stop playing with us. You're not going to play in my face any longer. I'm going to hold you accountable for every lie you spit out your mouth, Joe and Rolando. And what you should be doing, Rolando, instead of calling me out of my name, is figuring out an escape route to get away from this man that you don't like touching on you. What you should be doing is figuring out why your name is on the FBI watch list. That's what you should be trying to figure out. How do you get your license reinstated so you can drive right and quit driving dirty? And why don't you try to figure out why you keep on dispensing semen on your husband's dentures so he can mix it with polygrip and put it in his mouth with his dentures in? Because those aren't veneers, because we've seen what Big Joe's mouth looked like. And the last time I checked, you can't get veneers when your teeth look like this. You tell anybody who can put veneers in their mouth and your teeth look like this. Go on, girl.
I think there's definitely an identity crisis going on that I believe you brought that up the other night, that they're trying to kill off the old Joe and become this new Netta and get rid of the past, but they're doing it aesthetically. The problem is mentally, you're always going to be that person.
Tap the screen, guys. Tap the screen. Go ahead, sweetie.
And as they get into these spaces, you have to really be careful or tread lightly that what you say on TikTok and how you come at people, because not everybody in the Hollywood industry or the entertainment industry is going to be nice. And they're getting some backlash. I just seen Funky Geneva just kindly ripped Joe a new one and said, you're not ready. You haven't built your platform up. You're not eloquent enough. You're not, funk. So people are noticing and they're saying something. And I almost feel like she did this on purpose just to get attention.
Right. Hold on, guys. Tap the screen, guys. Tap the screen, please. Throw some gifts. Throw some penny gifts at the bare minimum. So my supporters, because we know his people are in here reporting. Tap the screen and throw some gifts. Go ahead, Mecca.
The fact that they have to report the live shows a weakness. That you're not able to come forward. You're not able to move forward. You just want to attack, and destroy. And this person literally, if we just do a pathology on it, the reason why Joe is so used to saying, oh, y'all just jealous, y'all don't care, I don't care what y'all think, is because growing up, this person was used to not caring what other people think about them. That was their only way of existing and getting to them to where they're at. The problem is they're going through a transformation and trying to acclimate themselves into a new body is going to be physically taxing. These are the only two people that I've seen on social media. Well, except for a couple of celebrities that actually get their bodies done and not be in the gym and taking care. You're still eating fatty foods. You're still eating unhealthy things. You're not working out. We don't see none of y'all. All we see y'all wading in the water. That's
Hold on, guys. Hold on, sweetie. Hair junkie. I got you, hair junkie. Do your thing, hair junkie. 1 second. Cassie, how can we help you? What you got to say, ma'am?
I was just coming in just to touch up on a few things. Number one, I heard Joe earlier. Well, I guess that was yesterday. I don't know when it was posted, but it was just on my FYP page. And I seen him talking about your wig or whatever. And I thought it was comical because Joe literally has, I'm sorry, he said something about the wig, and that had me like just baffled at that moment because I've seen him. He literally has a fake body. So my thing is, how can you speak on somebody having this and that, and then and then he plays victim to the fact, well, y'all are talking about me. When you put yourself on social media, you're going to get criticism, where it's good, whether it's bad. People are going to clock you. And then you come in with the attitude about women. And it sickens me to see so many of my women on here that's okay with that. They're saying, oh, this Hillary is obsessed and Hillary is getting sickening. I'm looking at y'all's comments. It's really sickening that y'all are still promoting Joe. Y'all are still for Joe. It's very sad at this point. Yeah, she talks about it, but it's valid points. You know what I mean? We are giving all this praise. I'm gonna say, let me correct myself. Y'all are giving all this praise to a person that just deliberately bashed us. And what's the sad part is, a lot of you women who are taking up for him are on housing, do receive food stamps, are on welfare, and there's nothing wrong with that. But y'all are encouraging it.
Right. And let me be clear, because I just got a message that came across my thing from my people who just text me. They're in this chat. Let me state this again. Charles is on the FBI watch list, and I am not changing it. It is factual. Go ahead.
Okay. And also to Charles, he was just saying something about you know, and it's starting to look like it's bragging almost. And I really think both of them, and I'm not saying because I'm from the country. Sometimes you can see when people aren't used to having things. Charles was really just bragging about they purchased a trailer for 70,000. And that's congratulations, that's big for them. But it's people out here purchasing 200, 300 plus houses,
Sweetie,
and they're humble about that.
sweetie, don't listen to the delusion. That's a rent to own trailer. Okay? Did you hear what I said?
Yeah.
That's a rent to own trailer.
And then he said
And
he
wait,
goes,
wait. And I got the address. I know exactly where they are, where they live. Okay? I know more about him than he knows about himself. And that trailer is rent to own by a Caucasian white man, and he's behind in his rent payments on. And he has a lien, a $1,500 lien in another state. If you got all this money, why do you have a $1,500 lien against you?
right. And then he goes on to say, a lot of y'all can't afford it. A lot of y'all can't even afford $1,000 crackhead house. And just the stuff that he says, and it just be so delusional, and the audacity of him to speak like that. And like somebody said on here, they said a house is costing up to 850K. You know, and here you are saying, yes, 70,000. That's right, I said it, 70,000. Okay, you know, and that's good for y'all. I mean, a lot of people probably where y'all at didn't have a trailer that was $70,000. So yeah, you can speak on that. But Charles, be fucking for real. Please. Be fucking for real. It's disgusting at this point. And again, and I watched your live earlier, and I was wanting to ask you, what was the shoestring for? Because the shoestring didn't hold up the dress. Could you tell me what was when they asked about a shoestring, a black shoestring, and Charles said, I got a shoestring, a black one. What was that for?
That was to lace up that gown that they had to cut to make it fit.
No,
To,
ma'am.
to, to put
Absolutely.
shoestring through it to tie it up. Honey, let me tell you something, and I want you to
Lord
hear me
Jesus.
well. I want you to hear me well. And I raised my right hand before God. This happened. When Big Joe come up in there and them kids seen him, there was 13 and 14-year-olds that were staying in that hotel, and they were in that lobby. They ran to their family talking about, what is that? That dress was shredded up and cut up in the back. You only see the front of that
Yeah, I
dress.
didn't see I didn't see
Why
the bottom part of it. I was
the back
curious
of
how the
that
bottom
dress,
looked.
the back of that dress was a hot mess. Do you hear me? A hot mess. Now let me say this, Big Joe, because we know you're in here. Tell your people what happened to you in that holding room when you were temporarily detained. Please tell your supporters why you had on underwear cut up and holy when they did a search on you and they searched that wig. Please explain all of that. See, you went around everything else trying to deflect. He's deflecting what happened from him trying to come after me. You're doing what they call deflection. If you want to come after Hillary Sanchez, get your lawyer and sue me. I stand 10 toes down. Everything that I have reported about you is factual, and there are receipts, and the receipts are receipting. Joe, why did you walk out that hotel barefooted? You didn't, why did you have on your shoes? Why did you exit out the side of that door after they trespassed you off their property? Why did you walk out there barefooted like you was walking onto somebody's plantation? Go ahead.
So I also wanted to touch on when when to me when you get booked somewhere or whatever, when you have a manager, let's just start there. When you have a manager and you put a plan in order, you plan a trip, to go to a location where you are just saying that you have to be somewhere. Isn't it the manager's responsibility to get your hair, your outfit, your driver? Isn't that all like the
Well,
manager?
it depends on what they're contractually obligated to do, but yeah, that's what I hear the norm is. But did you see his manager?
Carlos, I've never seen him before.
You've never seen Carlos?
No, I thought it was the guy that the guy that gave her the Louis Vuitton perfume. Was that him?
That's not Carlos. Are you ready to see Carlos?
Yeah, I've never seen him
This is
before.
okay, and there's a video out here, and I can put the video on my page. He admits that he is Netta's manager, and Netta confirmed it. Look at what Netta said. She said she called Carlos. This is Carlos. The blind leading the blind.
Wait a minute. For a minute, I thought that was Shamar.
That is Carlos.
Oh my. Well,
Moderators, get these haters out of this comment. Go to blocking them left and right. Go ahead, sweetie. Go to blocking them.
so it's just all I just it's a lot to take in, and why I'm speaking on it because people ask, I see, why y'all so bothered, why y'all can't let it go. I personally,
That is Carlos.
I feel a way to let it go.
Did y'all hear me? This is Carlos. Let me be real clear. And hold on, I got some more tea. I'm going to pause the live for a second. Hold on.
Speculation that he would be traded by the deadline last season. Miles Bridges becoming the fourth player in Hornets history to record 40.
See, I got time today. Can you guys hear me? Can y'all hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, I got time today. Let me show you who Carlos is. Since everybody set up and say I'm lying and I don't have receipts, let me show you the apple don't fall far from the tree. Have you heard that saying before? Have you heard that? That's one thing here. Let me go on down here. Let's go on down here so you can see what I'm talking about. Hold on. Let me get this photo up on Carlos. Go ahead and talk while I get the photo, please.
Okay. So yeah, I just see where a lot of people are commenting, y'all are
Don't worry
obsessed.
about the comments. Don't worry about the comments. Just do what you're doing. That's their haters. We're not going to argue with them.
Like I said, I feel a way about the whole, when he ran it, the two times he ran it about the women. And
look at Carlos.
Wow.
Look at Carlos. This is the Icon's manager, Carlos. Read it and weep. See, when you come for Hillary, you better have everything ready to go because, see, the receipts are receding.
Yeah, they're receding.
Tap the screen and throw some gifts, or I'm going to cut off this thing until the comments are going off to I see gifts and the lights going up. But can you see this? Protester organizer Carlo banned from the Galleria over a year. But this is Big Joe's manager. This is who they relied on to get them into the BET Awards, I assume.
Well,
I don't see, this is not giving due diligence at all.
No.
I don't see any due diligence at all.
And like I said, the reason why it bothers me so much, not even, I was okay with the Charles, your lunch is ready. Those were funny. Those were entertainment. No doubt Joe is very strong to look at, but I still thought that those were comical, and I thought should be left right there. You were getting your views, you were having skits and it was okay. But then when you go on because you're upset and you go on speaking on women, because I've even heard him say something about it's just black women that makes rude comments, and it's like you just steady attacking black women. And again, I'm a black woman, so of course I felt the way. That's not you lost me. That's not comical anymore. That's an attack. And then for you to say those things and then you backdoor and you dress up as a black woman. Your name is Netta. I don't know too many white or Latino women named Netta, so I mean,
But that's what nowadays, that's all that these content, these certain spaces, the red pill community, that's all they know. They know it's triggering. They know it's gonna make the numbers. They know they'll get whatever traction they can get to come to their videos. They don't care about ethics. They don't care about morality. They don't care about how it's gonna affect the people that they're attacking. They don't care.
Okay, so let's focus on the three things I got up here. We got deflection, delusion, and rent to own trailer. Go, panel.
well, I'm gonna say
I'll go
you
ahead.
go ahead, Mecca.
Say the deflection was bad yesterday when the response video came out, because the thoughts was going too fast and the mouth could spit out, and it was like you was going down the rabbit hole before you like, well, so and so said this and so said this, and it was like it was just constantly, it was just looping to the next thought, to the next thought, to the next thought. And it's like, you're not answering the question. Did you get invited to the BET Awards? It's real simple. Did you or did you not? You went into, oh, my feet hurt, oh, this, and oh, we were supposed to go to the DR, and oh, and there was a misunderstanding, and I don't know what happened, and I don't know what went on, and it was just all over the place.
But the point, did he address where was their official invitation? Because
No.
that's what he said. We are going to be walking on the red carpet.
Yeah, he did say that.
Miss Hillary, do you have the video of where they said, well, he said that they got invited to the BET Awards?
Yes,
Okay.
it's on my page.
Okay.
It's on my page. I have it.
Okay.
Okay. So let me ask these other two people to get a gist of you guys unmute yourself. The two new people that came. Go ahead, ma'am. What's up?
Hillary, it's me. We had spoke earlier. Did you blocked my other page?
Who? I don't know who. If you got, who is this?
I was on here earlier and we were talking.
Okay,
La Marina.
DM me on the back end. Go ahead, ma'am. What's up?
Miss Netta, Miss Hillary, the nerve of him.
Bye. I'm not Miss Netta, baby. You will never come up here and address me as Miss Netta and then try to say Miss Hillary. Baby, I know how to read you when you try to eat me, baby. That ain't working, baby. See ya. Go on, y'all.
I'm gonna tap into the delusional part. The delusional part is actually walking into the BET Awards without the pass, without nothing, and just thinking that, oh, we're Charles and Netta. We about to walk the red carpet. If that's not delusional, it's damn near diabolical.
I think the biggest delusional piece is after this. even after we have the facts and the receipts, that you weren't invited, that you said that the BET ratings was due to y'all. That's a big delusional.
I didn't see that. Where was that
Like
at?
Yeah.
they just did a it's part of the response video that they said that because did y'all see the numbers? BET's numbers is it's the highest that it's ever been, to the point, and we y'all all know what that's due to, because me and Charles was there. Everybody was coming to see us. This
Girl,
was after they came back. That's delusional.
I guess I didn't. I guess I didn't see the whole reaction
Did you
video.
hear the other delusional when he protests that Charles and him is the hottest couple on TikTok in the world? Not in
That was
TikTok, in the
that was the
world.
part and that's when I went to go look it up. No, y'all not, because Essence don't have y'all as the top 10. BT don't have y'all as the top 10. Vibe don't have y'all as the top 10. Like, there's major outlets that report those kind of things, and you guys are not on there. Now, I don't know what type, maybe on Zeus magazine or something. I don't know. Maybe y'all are, but not in the spaces that's on the BET level.
Maybe.
Now let me say this. See, because everybody got a pass. I'm not saying that bad criminal. Some people don't have no criminal record, but you've done something or said something in your life you're not proud of. I have a past. It's all over. Aunt Karen covered it 10, 15, 20 years ago. Okay, it's out there. I'm not ashamed of my past. However, when you Google my maiden name, instead of you trying to find old dirt from 15 to 20 years ago, Google Stewart investigations. Google Hillary Stewart investigations and see how gagged you are in Washington State. That's the stuff you gag and you Google and you look up. Go on.
Yeah, and the Mecca, you want to speak on the rent to own trailer?
I was gonna comment on the rent to own trailer. Usually with the rent to own trailers, they come with land contracts, meaning that there's something wrong with the property, whether it's the sewer or whether it's the roof, that it has to be fixed in a certain amount of time. If you don't fix it in a certain amount of time, they take over the property, whoever owns it, the original owner. So just because somebody say they own something and it's a rent to own, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have total control over that, because a land contract, all it takes, I don't see them trying to put anything together when they couldn't even get the BT. Y'all couldn't even get an email right. And I was trying to go back and look at my email. People got to understand, when you download the BET app, it will send you emails. And I just was thinking to myself, and I told my daughter the other day, I think he got an email from the BET app, which will invite you to the BET Awards.
Baby, don't let's not drag the BET Awards in this, because they're watching, and I want to be very clear.
Yeah, we did say that the other night.
We're not going to go down that road because BET didn't invite them. That's all bogus. Okay, where is the food truck? Where is the Joe Netta food truck that was coming out?
Where's the cookbook?
Where is the food truck, supporters? Where is your icon? Because you're in here. Where is the TV show? Where is the cookbook? Where is the alcohol? Where is the seasoning? Where is the BBL, the non-existent BBL in the 8-pack? We don't see nothing other than him spitting out lie after lie after lie. And deflection, delusion.
But I tell you where I do know something is.
Wait. And the $1 million home. Do you remember when he said, if you can afford a $23,000 Birkin, you can afford $1 million home? If you don't know that man is delusional by him claiming that bag was $23,000 and equating that with that $1 million house purpose, I can't make you see nothing. I have 15 houses made out of ice cubes. Whoever is his supporters who believe him, and they're in Las Vegas. Please come into my DMs and I will sell them to you for a great price. Go ahead.
Well, I do know what I know. One thing that they have, I know she got he has a ton of onions and bell peppers.
Okay. And then what about him adopting kids? Didn't he say him and Charles was going to be adopting some kids?
When they gonna have time?
These people,
You can't have a record with and try to be adopt a child. You can't
you
adopt a child
cannot.
and have a
But
record.
here's the gag. These his supporters who still supporting him has blinders on. They're only seeing what they want to see. They have blinders on.
Even slave mentality, where people are so gung ho on trying to be out the crabs in the barrel that they see somebody else crawling out the barrel. They like, okay, well, we trying to go with them. We don't care what it looks like. We don't care what it is. We just want to see something outside of this barrel.
Tap
The
the
problem,
screen, tap the screen, guys. Tap the screen, throw some gifts. Tap the screen, throw some gifts, guys. Throw some gifts, tap the screen. It protects the live. We got to hold on a second, panel. Tap the screen, throw some gifts. Tap the screen, throw some gifts. We're not talking right now until we get this stuff together. Tap the screen, guys. Throw some gifts. Tap the screen, share some gifts, throw some gifts live. Tap the screen, throw some gifts.
Something that we're obviously making points of here.
Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the gifts. Tap the screen, throw some gifts. We got about another minute. Thank you. Okay. All right. Before y'all, we were in our conversation. The new person that just came on, go ahead and unmute. The new person that's up in the box, go ahead and unmute. I thank everybody who is a true supporter of mine. I thank you very much for understanding what I am trying to do, and I appreciate the support. Tap the screen, guys. Tap the screen. Yes, ma'am. How can we help you?
Maybe.
Hello?
Hello?
How can we help you?
Oh, I just wanted to come up here and speak, Miss Hillary, and let you know that I agree with a lot of what you're saying. And I'm speaking to Casey and Mecca. So I just wanted to say this real quick. I appreciate you for letting me come on. I just followed you and I did just send a gift. One of the things that got me with this particular person was, I kind of was like, okay, they may be all right. They're making us laugh with, whoever they are. And then when this, stuff came up about Sunday, I'll put it to y'all like that. When it came about Sunday, I kind of didn't think about it anymore. And then some people started sharing your live to me. And I said, well, let me go in because, I call you Miss Hillary if it's all right. And so I said, well, let me go in Miss Hillary live. And then some more receipts. A lot of people say that word. A lot of receipts kept coming up, Miss Hillary. And then it was something else that was brought to my attention about them being on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Has anybody heard about that,
Yes, that they were.
Casey?
Yes, yes.
Okay, go ahead, Miss Hillary.
Yeah, go ahead. No, you go ahead. We heard it.
Okay, yes, ma'am. And so I was just, real quick, because, I just appreciate y'all time. And so I started getting, some information to Miss Hillary about they were supposed to be on Love Hip Hop Atlanta, then some about a house. Now, I want to say, now you tell me what you heard, Miss Hillary, because, some people, can get stuff on the blogs quicker than I can. Have you heard anything about, okay, so you heard about the Love Hip Hop Atlanta. Now, somebody spilled some tea in our community saying that this was only supposed to be if they were casted on the show. So I don't know. I got somebody trying to get in contact with Mona. Miss Scott. So I don't know. So have you found out anything on that, Miss Hillary? Because that may be fabricated too about them being on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta.
So I have information.
Yes, ma'am.
And let me tell you this.
Yes, ma'am.
They were trying to they were targeting the producers to come onto the show. There were talks about that.
Okay.
There is nothing that show wanted to have to do with these two. There was nothing that they could bring to the show.
Okay, because somebody was still waiting, I'll just put it like this. Somebody that works in, allegedly close to production, they were waiting on an email from Miss Mona. I'm gonna call her, but I think probably just she probably just too busy. But nothing has been confirmed.
I know.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
But it's I don't know if you know this and this has not been said, but let me say it this way, and you need to read through the lines, and you'll know what I'm saying. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, here we go. So you know how the Real Housewives of Atlanta has girls that have the peaches, right? Those are the reoccurring people that have a spot on the show, right?
Yes.
And then you have friends of the show. Are you following me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Message me after that with that in mind. And then the way that his manager tried to throw it to them was he was telling them that Big Joe is a better fit for Real Housewives of Atlanta. Now, this is what Big Joe said live, that his manager Carlos told them that they're a better fit for the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Go on, y'all.
Wow. Listen, I just want to give this to Casey or somebody if they can unmute themselves. Because look, I just want to give it to somebody else because Miss Hillary, it is so many reports out about those two. Now I think it has. Now I think, and Miss Hillary, you can help me or somebody can unmute it, help me. They are a part of something on Zeus, right? So that's accurate.
Well, what I will tell you.
Yes, ma'am.
He can't go, and this is what I'm saying. You can fact check me.
Right.
Look at his video when he spoke about Zeus.
Yes.
He doesn't even know how to say the company's name. He
Absolutely.
said Zulu. He said Zulu.
You're right, Miss Hillary. I'm sorry, y'all, but yes, this is a lot of tea.
Are you listening to me?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you not hear him say Zulu?
I heard that, and it's some other stuff that he couldn't pronounce too regarding Sunday.
He don't know how to
Sunday.
talk.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You're right, Casey.
He doesn't know how to speak. You have to, if you're going to be on TV like that, you're going to have to get a speech coach.
Or did he mean Hulu?
I don't know what it was, but yeah. And so, and it's so many reports, y'all. And so, Miss Hillary, I want to thank you again for.
But I will.
There is a platform called Zulu Nation.
I will confirm because I'm not a hater. So I will confirm that they did something with Zeus Network.
Yes, ma'am.
but I don't know nothing about Zulu Network. I've never heard of Zulu Network. I only know about Zeus Network.
Right, Mecca. You said you were going to say something real quick about there is
There's
Zulu.
there's a platform called Zulu Nation,
Okay.
and it's like a pay-per-view. The last time I seen a Zulu Nation network platform, it was Priscilla and Charles White. They were going at it, and they did it pay-per-view. But that's not a reality show. It's just more like a podcast. It's almost like what's the one with the blue couch with the lights in the back? Street Stars.
Tap the screen, you guys. Tap the screen. Tap, tap, tap. Go ahead. Go ahead. Tap the screen. Throw some gifts.
It's almost
Go
like
ahead.
that. So
Okay.
yeah, Zulu Network probably reached out to them, but I doubt that. That's the only platform I know, and that was the one that Charleston White and Princella was having a heated debate on.
Okay.
So there is a network, but it's not like an app network like Hulu or Netflix. It's not like that.
Okay. So Zeus is not affiliated, as far as you know. Zeus has nothing to do with Zulu.
Now let me ask you this,
Probably not.
ma'am. Did
Okay.
you hear Big Joe saying that they were looking at selling their show to Netflix and MTV?
Remember the video? I seen it yesterday. My manager is trying to get us on Netflix, get us a deal with Hulu, all that good stuff. Yeah, so they. The problem with that, you throwing out stuff that are not confirmed. You just, to me, it's like you getting a euphoric high off the attention of anticipation, and that's the part that's killing you right now. That's the part that's gonna humble you. That anybody who's part of your team, even actors, when they do a movie, they're not allowed in their contract. They're not allowed to say certain stuff.
Well, Big
Y'all just
Joe, see, this is where the delusion comes in, ladies, and hear me out. When Big Joe is spitting lies on his live, sitting down at that table, cutting up bell peppers and onions, and he just starts saying things to be saying them. That's the delusion. He's just saying things to make himself feel good, to try to put everybody else down beneath him. Just like he sat in that blow up hot tub in 95-degree weather talking about all these bees is jealous and mad because they don't have one.
Right.
Joe, do you know anybody can go get a $200 blow up pool, but who wants to sit in a hot tub in 90-degree weather in the summer and drink alcohol? Only you. Only you and your son, Radio. Go ahead.
I went back and looked at that video. There was a child in that video. And what I seen this morning on my FYP, Charles was in the pool. That in the back, you see that jacuzzi that they was in. They was at his mom's house because I recognized the trees. They was at his mom's house. That's where they at now.
Wow.
Wow. I honestly don't see. Well, Charles is not. His elevator doesn't go all the way to the top, so I'm pretty sure he's gonna stay where he is. I mean, if they're living separate or if they're together, I really don't know. It's just so all over the place.
Right.
But it is comedy to watch. People are, they ask y'all upset. I'm literally think it's funny that you can see two people that it's literally enjoy making a fool of themselves.
Right.
And it has nothing to do with jealousy.
That's right, Casey.
Because
That's right.
I go to work every single day. I work at the oil and gas company. I mean, I have a great job, but this is comical. And if I see it, I'm going to speak on it.
But
It is.
I'm going to speak on it because guess what? They're on a platform.
But
They're there
let's
to
be
entertain, and it's
exactly.
funny.
But
And
let's
if I
be
want to keep on speaking on it, that's exactly what I'm gonna do.
But let's be very clear. Charles elevator don't even leave the first floor at this point.
At all, Miss Hillary, at all. And then to see somebody literally, I'm looking at him, and he's saying, "Y'all can't even afford $1,000 house." What?
Yeah,
Charles, do you hear the words that are coming out your mouth?
you're right, Casey, and that's one of the things that really bother me about so much Joe. That's what really bothers me about them. And then there was some other stuff, and I don't know how many videos y'all have seen. It's some other stuff too, Casey, and everybody about these Birkin bags and stuff like that. Then somebody had posted something about what a real one looks like. So I'm gonna just let y'all take that. Because all I saw was some plastic bags with some pocketbooks. Excuse me for being country.
I mean, even with people coming out with their product lines, uh, Lisa Lash Lounge. I hope I'm not actually targeted. I'm just coming up with a generic. Packaging is everything, and Birkin bag is like your high end. That it's not going to come bubble wrapped. Just like Louis Vuitton, Gucci, they're going to put it in the box. They're going to have that logo. There's going to be a lock on it. There are going to be certain identifiers that is going to let you know that this is an authentic, original, or an authentic piece that came straight from that vendor.
So
That's the right word, authentic. You're right.
Can I pose a question to this panel that's on here?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's talk about Netta disrespecting Black women. Can we talk about that?
We sure can.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Casey. Somebody. I'm just listening.
Yeah, it's red pill content. Because that's the only thing you could do to drive attention to your platform. And if you sit back and, I'm not going to say nothing until I get 10,000 likes or 10,000 followers. I'm not going to speak until, just the fact that people have, even if you didn't know who Joe or Miss Netta or Charles was, you're going to go look for it. Even some of the content creators are stitching their videos. That traction alone, that's all they want is traction. It's giving Kevin Samuels, it's giving red pill content that the fact that you had to attack a Black woman that you're portraying, and yet you're also saying at the same instance that you're not part of the LGBT community, that is giving red pill content as a man.
So
that you're attacking Black women.
Talk about some of the attacks that y'all have heard without using the bad words. Can we talk about that?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Well, from what I saw and heard, it was on several occasions where he went in on saying that it's Black women that attack him, that come for him, is his words exactly, that we come for him. And first of all, everybody doesn't come for, because like I said, I enjoyed the Charles, your lunch is ready skits. I thought they were very funny. And when you go on to the Birkin bags, that was funny to me, because everybody know damn well you're not going to get a Birkin in a plastic black trash bag. You're not going to, it doesn't happen. Birkins cost more than Louis Vuitton. Birkins cost more than Gucci. So you're definitely not going to go. And you wasn't fooling anybody, because I'm pretty sure we've all had that hair store that we went in and grabbed something real quick, or we went to the flea market, or, and, probably 2006, 2007, we were like, yeah, girl, I got a Gucci. Well, they were, I didn't, because I knew real from fake. But that was fine. I could accept that as well. But when you go in, like on the rent that he had in May, that was a bit much. It's you bitches who own Section 8 housing, who get food stamps. And I know y'all get food stamps because y'all selling them to me. You bitches laying on the couch. You got to play with your pee while I'm getting effed, and then go on to say, suck my dick. And the fans, y'all thought that was cute. Y'all still on here defending that? I know it's her meds. If I want to say Birkin, I can say Birkin. Clock it. So, that was a little bit rough for me. So that's why I feel like I feel. And I'll mute after this.
Me too.
Okay.
Well, the fact that they're using very high end, just using the BET Awards, again, people are watching this. PR people are watching this. That they're going to protect their brands. Birkin bag is going to protect their brand. Even the landlord is going to be very leery about his brand. So it's like you're not even thinking in context of what you're speaking about, that these high-end vendors can actually come against you. That you're not even aware of that, and the people that are around you are not allowing you to be aware of that. That your team doesn't even care about you. It's like it's giving me Shamar and Kat. That's what it's giving me. And I hated to bring them up because we know that they have challenges. And it's giving me all fame and no fortune. Y'all getting a little fortune, but y'all literally are begging for promos. Like y'all faking it till y'all make it. And at this point, y'all not gonna make it in those spaces because you're literally putting out the names of these high-end vendors.
Let me say this. Rest in peace, Kat. I know you don't know this, but I don't like speaking on anybody who passed away. So I'm not disrespect. I don't want to talk about anybody who's passed away. But go ahead, sweetie. Just because
I was very leery about bringing them up.
But go ahead.
And that's why I landed my plane on that one.
Okay.
But it's giving me that type of presence. And it's sad because we've watched I didn't think the content was funny myself, but it's giving me that cadence. I'm famous, y'all just jealous of me. And it's like there's nothing funny about that at all. There's nothing funny about it. Yeah, you've got content, but where's your content? Do you have an agenda? Are you being progressive for your people? And it's just not given what is it's not given what is not given. Period.
But this is how you can find the chaos. When you got people represent you and they're your manager and you making it seem like these people are so this and so that, and you got mess running around here looking like this, and you claiming this a manager that don't even have access to people with the BET. You know this person couldn't even get in contact with anybody close enough in the executive offices in the BET Awards. So why do we continue to not understand? These were party crashers. These were party crashers at the BET Awards, but they got stopped in their tracks. Their manipulative ways and the manipulation did not work. Big Joe thought that he could come in there and smooth talk his way through everything to get his photo opportunity at the BET Awards, and it wasn't working. And he copped the attitude after he had a few drinks that other people bought him. And his chicken wings and fries that he ate that another customer left in the restaurant, and someone handed it to him because he was hungry and trying to sober him up. And he got out of hand to where everybody knows BET is going to protect their brand. So they're not going to cause a scene like that. So they took Big Joe out, removed him from the scene into a room. And he was temporarily detained and put in handcuffs like the silverback he is. And I stand 10 toes down on that. The receipts are receding. And if you say I'm lying, Big Joe, sue me. You said you were starting to sue people. I'm waiting for your lawsuit. And I will give you my address to have me served. Go ahead, you guys. But what you will see from him, you're not going to see any factual stuff coming from him. You're going to see what I told y'all in the beginning. This is what campaign they are on right here. Deflection. They want to deflect from what is going on. So they bring up Hillary from 15 to 20 years ago to deflect. You're deflecting from everything that's going on with you. But let's center back to Big Joe, to Netta Cosby, to Radio, to Tin Man and Scarecrow, to Batman and Robin. Go ahead.
There's somebody on the panel that hasn't spoke. The last person that joined.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Maybe
Welcome
she has
in.
something to say.
Welcome in. Unmute, ma'am. Nola? Unmute your mic. Nola going once? Nola going twice? Gone. Let's bring up some other people. Welcome in, sir. Okay. Welcome in. Okay. Hello, welcome in.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. I'm new to the panel and I don't know too much about your history, but I just learned from you.
Hello, welcome in. Turn your TV down. Oh, we got a fake account in here. We got a fake account in here. Hello, welcome in. Okay, I knew you were a fake account. I knew you were a fake account. Tap the screen, everyone. Tap the screen. Tap the screen. The comments go off. Tap the screen. Go ahead, ma'am.
Hi, Miss Hillary. I just wanted to tell you that I really enjoy your content. And I think that you should continue to do what you are doing because people need to be aware that they are being fake and they are being fraudulent and they do things for the sake of attention. And something that my grandfather left with me is it's always better to be asked up than asked down. And I think that they took the approach of trying to take a head up over people. And now because they're being humbled and exposed, they are bitter and they are sour towards you. But I just want to speak words of encouragement to you to continue to do what you are doing. And you are such a light and they're jealous of you. And that's okay for people to be jealous of you. When you're doing the right thing, people are going to hate on you. So I just wanted to tell you that I appreciate your content. I appreciate what you are doing. And I'm very grateful for you speaking out against people being fake and fraudulent because there's too much of that in the world.
And let me say this to you. You have made my day today on the 4th of July. I appreciate it. Like I said, my journey, I was looking at what was going on TikTok with these two clowns. And I was particularly interested in how he was treating African American women and what he was saying and doing, and he was getting away with literally doing it with no consequences. None of his videos were ever taken down. Nothing. He has done so much more. If we started doing that now, we would be shut down. He could call a woman everything but a child of God, and he did it for months on here. This is what I knew, Miss Ashley. I prayed about this, and I said, there's one person who can handle Big Joe, and it's Hillary Sanchez. I'm the one who could humble him. I'm the one who could launch an investigation and start to peel the layers of this self-proclaimed icon for who he is a fraud, a master manipulator who spits out lies just because it comes to the front of his head. And I am so glad that if no one else understands and supports me, that you got it. And I appreciate that. And what I will tell you about TikTok, the numbers do not lie. They're getting it too. Go ahead.
And I honestly, it really does break my heart though that there are so many people that are in support of their narrative that come onto your live and try to tarnish your name. And that just shows a negative energy from them. And it shouldn't be about that because like y'all were talking earlier, what you're doing is trying to make them aware of who it is that they're following. And if you do not stand for something, you will fall for anything. And they are pushing out all these likes, all these shares, all these gifts, and they're really supporting something that they know nothing about. And it's really unfortunate because I believe that everybody has a genuine heart at some point, and I feel like they're being taken advantage of. And it's frustrating to watch it happen, and especially being a Black woman and seeing the things that Joe has said and the things that Charles has supported, and you come from a Black woman, that is just sad to me. It is so sad to me to watch it happen like that in this day and age when we should be in a place where we should be supporting each other. And unfortunately, Joe Robinson and Charles have made that a very complicated thing to do, especially on this platform, because a lot of people that opened the door for them to have a genuine space, they slandered and they talked about and they took it the wrong way. And when you try to address things with them cordially, they wanted to go into attack mode. And that was just, it wasn't called for. It was unnecessary. And I hate that they tried to attack you in a way that wasn't necessary at all.